I'm from ultimatelocalmusic.com, and we're happy to be able to interview you. Thanks for taking time out to chat, like I said. Now, you're on tour with OTEP, Earth Crisis, and Mold Breaker. How's the tour been going so far?
Going great.
Good.
Yeah, all the bands are really cool. Everybody getting along good.
Good. I know that you guys have been touring for a long time. I know you started in Brazil, and you've toured all over the world. Do you prefer the festival type atmosphere or the small venue type?
I like the small venue. I think it's better. Shows are more intimate. You get closer to the audience. You get to touch them, and the show is more energetic too. You know, a lot of the festivals, when they're too big, it's too far. You get too far away from your crowd. It's hard to maintain a kind of, close contact with your fans. So smaller shows are better for them.
Do you have any rituals before you go on stage?
One thing I do, I normally don't use dressing room. I go from the bus to the stage. And I've been doing that for like 15 years now.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
cool.
found it that backstage distracts me, and it was really all of the times when I wasn't backstage, there was a lot of distraction, a lot of people talking, and I lost concentration for the show, and the show suffered. And I decided to not go to the backstage anymore and go straight from stay in the bus. So it's a little bit schizophrenic. So you got the quiet of the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be here and I'll be silent, quiet like this. I'll start walking, and it changes from an entire different environment with everything loud and screaming. A little bit schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you have a favorite country that you've played in? I know you've toured for a long time. You've been doing this since 1994.
Yeah. I like exotic places, Indonesia, China, Siberia, Turkey. We play a lot of those. Israel.
I know you played in Israel. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I was there with Soulfly, and we opened for Ozzy in Jerusalem. It was a great show. So I like to visit this kind of different kind of places, and I like the fact that metal can go to those places too. I think it's cool. The metal,
right? The whole
out.
metal scene is like all different kinds.
Yeah, it stretches out to all the way to Indonesia and China. And we were in a festival in China. There was 10,000 people, 10,000 fans. It was amazing. It was great.
Yeah, I think it's cool because I've watched your videos, and when an old song comes on and everybody's just chanting, how does that make you feel? I mean, does that give you a chill? Is it cool to hear your fans sing back to you?
Yeah, I think a big part of the show is that interaction with your fans, and I love the fact they know the old stuff, but they also know the new stuff, which is great, which is what I wanted. I don't want to just play old stuff, so I love the fact that, for instance, on this Cavalera show, we play back to back in the end. We play I Speak Hate, which is a brand new song from the last record, and then we go into Roots, which is kind of an old song, and it closes the show with that kind of new old atmosphere. We just play something new and then you play something old, and they like both the same. The energy is on both songs, so I love that.
That's good. Do you have any country that you want to play in that you haven't yet? I mean, have you touched down in a lot of places? I know that, but is there a particular country that you want to go to that you guys haven't played at with, from 1994 on?
Yeah, probably the Middle East to be the one place that we never played. It's I know that there's been a festival in Abu Dhabi. Some bands have done a metal festival there, and I would like to be part of that sometime. There's also a great festival in the Sahara Desert called Festival in the Desert. Robert Plant has done it, but I think you can only be part of that by invitation, so it's really hard. They don't have metal normally, more world music and tribal music, but I like to be part of that at some point. It'd be
Some
cool.
point in time. Well, hopefully you'll be able to. I know that your sons, Igor and Zion, are playing in Moldbreaker, and I know that they're opening for you on the tour. How's that going?
They didn't come on the tour.
They didn't come on the tour?
No, they didn't, because they had problems with two guys in the band. They had to replace two guys in the band, and they ended up breaking the band and forming a new one. So right now they're on the process of making a new group with a new name. So the tour was advertised that they were on it.
Right, yeah.
Unfortunately, they couldn't come on it.
I was hoping to see them because I think they are really, really good. Once they get a hold of us, they're going to take off, I think. I think they're really good.
You know, they're in the right path. They're young, but they're still looking for their own original sound and looking for their own style. And they didn't feel comfortable with the other two kids they had in the band. So now they're trying something new. So I let them do their thing, you know. So, you know, I told them, you know, whatever you do, I support, you know. So they decided it was best to break the band up and make a new one under a new name. So I'm just waiting to see what they're going to come up with.
I got your album the other day. I bought it. I usually do digital, but I actually bought it physical, and I love it. What is your inspiration for the new album?
Really, I think it's in general a bunch of different things. The topics were stuff that I thought it fit the music, because the music was very aggressive, you know, so I needed some aggressive topics. So I decided to sing about like warlord. It's about, you know, people that wage war on the world. And got Burn Waco. It's about the tragedy in Waco, Texas, with David Koresh and all the cult leaders. And you got Rasputin is about the Russian monk. Genghis Khan is about the Mongolian warlord. I Speak Hate is about Hurricane, the movie Hurricane, which is about a boxer. And I know Bob Dylan had done a song called Hurricane, but mine is a step further down into more violence, so that's why it's called I Speak Hate. And it's kind of those things kind of motivate me to. And then the name Blunt Force Trauma, I heard the name and I asked somebody what was that. I heard the term blunt force trauma, and I asked what it meant, and they told me, you know, like getting hit by a car crash, or when you get hit, somebody being, you know, victim of a murder, and they hit somebody in the head with a sharp object, and the cause of that to be, you know, blunt force trauma. And I thought that name was really powerful, really heavy and aggressive, and it's like, yeah, man, that's a good name for a record, you know.
I read in one of your interviews that you listen to that's what you feel like after it's done. And I know it's hardcore, talked about him. I love it. I think it's a really good album.
Yeah, it's made that way. It's short too. It's only half an hour, so you can listen to the whole thing. A lot of albums, including the ones I made, are really long, and I find that it's, for some people, it's difficult for them to listen from the beginning to the end.
Right.
They lose track of it, they lose interest, and go do something else. Where Blunt Force Trauma, you can actually listen in one listening, you know. It doesn't take that long.
Right.
It's pretty short. The songs are shorter too. Stuff like Torture is only 1:50, and Thrasher is like 2.5 minutes, and so the songs are short and more compact. So we trim all the fat out, we took all the shit out.